I've never been naturally organized. I've fallen off routines more than I can count. And I still built a business. Not because I fixed myself, because I stopped trying to and built a system designed for someone like me. By the end of this video, you'll have a 3-part system that keeps your business moving even when your week completely falls apart. Let me describe a Sunday night most people won't admit to. Kids are finally asleep. You sit down with good intentions. You open your laptop. 3 browser tabs of productivity systems. A Notion template you set up 6 weeks ago with 2 entries in it. A journal that had a great first week, then nothing. You spend 40 minutes reading about how to be more consistent. Then you close your laptop. Tell yourself, Monday is the fresh start. Monday comes, the week gets busy. Friday arrives, and nothing moved. So you reset again. I lived that cycle for years, and then life got so hard that even the reset stopped happening. The 3 closest people to me got ill at the same time. I was waking up at 1 p.m., going to sleep at 5 a.m., avoiding everything that felt difficult. The business sat still for months. That wasn't laziness. That was a man with no system that could survive a hard lesson. And here's what that period taught me. Something I couldn't have learned any other way. The problem was never discipline. The problem was design. The system I was trying to run needed time, energy, and predictability. When those ran out, the system died. So I built a different one designed to survive. Here's what makes this so frustrating. You already know what consistency requires. Show up, do the work, repeat. Simple in theory. But every system you've tried assumes the same thing. That you have control of your schedule, that your mornings are quiet, that your evenings are free. That nobody's going to get sick, need you, or turn a planned work session into a crisis. When you add a full-time job, young kids, and a marriage you're trying to protect, rigid systems don't bend, they break. And when they break, most people don't miss a day, they disappear for 3 weeks because the guilt of falling off is heavier than the task itself. I've heard the same phrases from people in this situation over and over. I start strong and then life happens. Sound familiar? By the time the kids are asleep, my brain is gone. That one hits differently. I watch productivity videos, but my week is still chaos. That last one, that was me for 2 years straight. The fix is not what people think it is. What I'm about to show you is the one shift that makes consistency possible for someone with your life. Here's the reframe. The problem is not that you're inconsistent. The problem is that you're using a system built for someone who doesn't exist in your life. Someone with 10 free hours a week, no dependence, a flexible calendar, 0 unpredictable interruptions. That person is not you. And no amount of discipline will make this system work in your life. When I got serious, really serious, I stopped trying to be consistent every day. I started protecting one 30-minute window per week. Not a morning routine, not a daily habit tracker. One anchor, once a week. And everything changed. Not because I became more disciplined, but because I stopped asking myself to do something impossible. Quick question before we get into the system. What's the one thing that keeps derailing your consistency? Kids, work, energy, or something else? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Let me show you why most people stay stuck. They decide to be more consistent. They expect a new routine to hold. Imagine the business growing because of it. Then one bad week hits. Sick child, overtime, hard night, the routine breaks. And instead of picking it back up, they feel like they are back to zero. I call this the expectation gap. The gap between the consistency you expected and the reality of your actual week. The gap isn't failure. It's a sign the system was too fragile for your life. Here's what most productivity advice won't tell you. Consistency for someone with your life doesn't mean every day. It means never stopping completely. 1 anchor per week keeps the business alive through any storm. 2 bad weeks won't kill you. 2 months of nothing will. The goal isn't a perfect streak. The goal is a system that always has a way back in. 3 parts. Part 1, the weekly anchor. 1 fixed window per week. 30 minutes. Non-negotiable, but only 30 minutes. 3 questions only. 1, what is the one thing that must move forward this week? 2, what are my 3 available time slots? 3, what is the one task I keep putting off? Write the answers down. That's your week. No Notion setup, no color-coded calendar, no 5-step morning routine. 3 questions, paper or phone notes. This replaces every productivity system you've ever downloaded and abandoned. My window is Sunday night after the kids are in bed. 20 to 30 minutes, 3 questions, done. Everything flows from that one anchor. Part 2 is the one most people skip, and it's the one that protects the whole system. The minimum viable week. Some weeks will be good. 3 solid work sessions, real progress. Other weeks will be survival mode. Overtime, sick kids, no sleep. The minimum viable week is your answer to survival mode. If you watched the last video, you'll recognize this idea. We're stripping it back even further for the weeks when even energy mapping feels like too much. 2 things every single week, no matter what. 1 outreach action, 1 piece of content, or 1 follow-up. That's it. Not 10 things. Not a full calendar. 2 things that keep the business breathing even when the week tries to kill it. Here's why this works. Most people have an all or nothing relationship with a business week. Full plan or nothing. The minimum viable week removes that trap. Even on the worst week of the year, you did 2 things. The business didn't stop. You didn't fall off. You just had a minimum week. And minimum weeks are indefinitely better than 0 weeks. Part 3, the reset protocol. You will fall off. Not might, will. Everyone does. The difference between people who build something and people who don't isn't how rarely they fall off. It's how fast they get back up. Most people wait for Monday or the first of the month or a fresh start that never quite arrives. Here's the reset protocol. The moment you realize you've gone quiet, open your weekly anchor. Answer the 3 questions. Pick 1 task. Do it in the next 24 hours. Not next week. Not Monday. The next 24 hours. I learned this a hard way. During my rock bottom period, I made a decision to change things. Not on a Monday. Not at the start of a new month. It was a random Thursday afternoon. I acted on it that same day. By the following week, the business was moving again. Not perfectly, but moving. The day doesn't matter. The decision does. And the reset isn't a new beginning. It's just the next rep. You don't need to become an organized person. You need a system that works for a disorganized one. That's not lowering the bar. That's being honest about the game you're actually playing. I refuse to build a business that costs my family. That means I can't build one that collapses every time life gets hard. This system survives the hard weeks. Small, simple, built to last. And if you've ever avoided reaching out to a potential client because you had nothing left at the end of the day, the next video is for that. I'll see you there.